I'm sleeping in the street, you know, where I just go sleep at night time. Up at St. Mary Hospital in the emergency. That's where I go every night to sleep.
Patricia Odenbaum is a Montreal resident facing homelessness due to the city's shortage of social housing. After leaving her husband years ago, she turned to the Genesis Project in Côte-des-Neiges for support for medication, food for her children, and housing. Despite her efforts, she continues to struggle to secure a permanent home. With moving day in Quebec here, Patricia and many others face challenges, including eviction and discrimination, and their search for stable housing.
People are facing discrimination because they have children, often discrimination because of their color, very frequent discrimination because of their social condition, the fact that they're on welfare. It makes it very difficult. And there are so many barriers.
So part of the problem is that before people sign a lease, they actually have very, very few protections. People do have the option of making a complaint with the Comité des droits de la personne, but it has absolutely no enforcement mechanism. There's absolutely nothing that compels a landlord to actually sign a lease with you if they try to discriminate against you. And then with the context of a very bad housing crisis, where the rents are very high, it creates a context where there's a lot of impunity for landlords, where landlords figure that they can openly discriminate against people and suffer no consequences.
And Patricia feels she's among those who have to pay the price.
People out here, one like me, need a low-income house to put my head under.
We see a lot of people, especially recent immigrants, who particularly struggle in the housing search. In a lot of instances, people are forced to make very difficult decisions. Either they end up having to share apartments with 2 or 3 other families, to rent rooms, or to pay exorbitant amounts for apartments as a way of being able to stay in the neighborhood where their networks are, or they often end up having to move off island where everything is more expensive and where they are alone.
For nearly 50 years, Project Genesis in Côte-des-Neiges has been offering income support and housing services to assist those facing poverty.
If you faced homelessness, it's hard to bounce back from that. If you end up being in shelters or on the street or having to couch surf, or even if you're squeezed together 2 families in an apartment and you feel that you're just living on somebody's generosity, and young people don't have good conditions for schooling, so there's a whole spiral of problems, and we can do better than this.
In Montreal, Johanie Bouffard, City News.